It's a sunny day on the west coast of Denmark. In the basement, it's D-Day, 6th of June 1944. We put up a table, double width of the normal FUBAR mission. We have 4 objectives, but each table is a mission on its own. It means we'll have these 2 objectives here on the left. There'll be 1 mission, so we need to conquer that. And we have 2 objectives on the other part of the table.
The defending forces, Morden with standard Beast Grenadiers and 12 naval Werfers, as well as 2 88mm bunkers, a French turret, and of course 2 Brooks. Thomas with Frontschwein and a good mix of mortars, artillery, and 5cm anti-tank guns, as well as a single 88mm bunker, 2 5cm bunkers, and of course a lot of 2 Brooks.
The Germans have set up fortifications by the first beach entrance and more fortifications at the other entrance. The US troops landing today will be an assault formation, and there'll be 2 rifle veteran formations. The Germans are beach grenadiers, lots of guns, particularly naval Werfers. See you on the beach.
The attacking forces, Mikkel with a large assault company, HMGs and mortars, 6 priests in 2 platoons, M12s, Thunderbolts, Germans and Stewards, and my own forces, 2 formations of veteran rifles with a total of 4 mortar platoons, and 2 platoons of 105mm Shermans, and a platoon of Crocodile.
Now we have landed on the beach. The assault squads are moving in. In the middle, American mortars stuck on the beach. On the left, the veteran rifles and a mortar platoon moving up. The preliminary bombardment was good. Took out a HMG nest, a single mortar, and importantly, 2 of the naval Werfers. And in the other half, it was crazy. All 3 naval Werfers and a mortar or 2 was killed here, as well as the beach grenadiers are now pinned. I don't think they took casualties.
Yep, one casualty.
So, German turn 1. We are now at the end of the first US turn. The assault troops have moved up. A few beach grenadiers died over here. The Breach Grenadier formation commander took 5 infantry saves and survived. Had to use it lucky though. A rifle mortar team left the beach. A new rifle platoon is moving up, arrived this turn. 2 platoons over here behind the smoke screen, moving up into the minefields, ready to clear them next turn. The mortar team over here couldn't unpin, despite reroll and 3+. The naval Werfers that shot at the Americans on the beach were able to inflict some heavy casualties. Now we are ready for the second German turn. So we're now in the beginning of the third German turn. So we have smoked in front of the infantry on the left flank. All the minefields are gone. The commander is up against the barbed wire. The mortars on the left flank were bombarded by naval bombardment and left the field. The HMG nests are still pinned here on this flank as well. Naval Werfers are coming in as reserves. The 10.5cm guns were hit by machine guns by the plane. And we actually already had the first assault here in turn 2. But the Americans fell back. So the beach is full of guys now. So we're moving up. So we come to the end of the third turn. We are still pushing on the right flank. Lots of bombardments. Also in the middle here. First vehicles have arrived on the beach. Some direct fire priests and some 105mm Shermans. None of my landing boats of the 5 returned to sea to get more reinforcements. Another smoke screen in the middle and an assault on the left flank. Took out a nest. Now more naval werfers are ready for the next turn. We're at the end of the 4th US turn. The vehicles are stuck on the transports, not making their cross checks. We had an assault in the middle, so the US have taken the center house. There was no ranging in from 2 of the mortar squads, but the US have taken one of the objectives of here, and 1 range in on the Beach Grenadiers here. AA moving up, still lots of naval werfers. More guns coming in. Infantry. A lot of the barbed wire and the minefields have been cleared. And we are ready for the 5th turn for the Germans. It's the end of the American turn 5. So there's an assault behind the smoke screen on the right flank. Minefields are being cleared in the middle. At the very center, there's a counter-attack by the Germans, which was repelled. On the left flank, the Germans move forward, shot at the Americans, a few casualties. Americans move forward, shot back and assaulted, took out a few stands. Smoke screen before the 88s. The Americans had 5 out of 5 boats. 5 out of 6 boats that didn't make it to shore. The crocodiles are moving up the middle. One objective on the far left has been taken by the Allies, and very close to the 2 in the middle. The naval werfers are really annoying. So the Allies almost have the objective on the far right as well. End of the Allied turn 6. Vehicles are moving up. The minefield has been cleared at the opening here. Assault on the right flank. Fell back to defensive fire. But 2 nests were shot out. Slowly moving up the middle. Crocodiles, a little infantry in the houses. Have ranged in the reinforcements near the nest. All the 105 Shermans were able to leave the landing crafts, together with mortars and more infantry. The infantry, or the mortar platoon here that is under the naval werfer template, was able to provide a smoke screen in the middle, in front of the 88s, to protect the Shermans and the crocodiles. Not much here, a little shooting, an assault by the Germans that was repelled. The Nebelwerfers continue to be really annoying. Reinforcements here in the middle, trying to take on the crocodiles. And more hard fighting around the FUBAR objective here. It's now the end of the Allied turn 7. Vehicles being shut up here by this beach exit. Painting of most of the German units on the right flank. Smoke bombardment in the middle. Crocodiles are moving forward. Germans are moving up the infantry towards the crocodiles, taking losses on the way. The 105mm Germans are moving up, failed to hit the bunkers. Next wave of rifle infantry is moving up, but up in front of the objective, the Germans and Americans are killing each other. It's not looking good for the US. But of course, reinforcements are on the way. And we are ready for the German turn 8. It's the end of the 8th turn for the US. Assault around the right objective. The Americans fell back to the German counterattack. Most of the vehicles are still alive. In the middle, the Americans assaulted, but were also pushed back here. But the crocodiles finally made it up to the turret and completely wiped it out. Reinforcements are coming in on the beach. Mortars. The 105mm Shermans had a shot at the bunker, but nothing happened. But the French turret was taken out by bazooka. Other than that, the left flank is a Mexican standoff. Nothing really happened here. The German ranks are thinning out. The guns, the anti-tank guns, the small ones here, just a single one left. Infantry, almost none left for the Germans. Americans are pushing hard. The tanks are in the hinterlands. There were no smoke bombardments this turn. It's the end of the 9th turn. The Germans have fallen back to the American assault. A single German team is left. The gun nest in the middle survived 5 or 6 artillery bombardments, Sherman shooting direct fire. The crocodiles moved up and took out 3 of the Tobruks. The 105 Shermans failed to take out the bunker. On the left flank, the fight for the objectives continue. The Germans won the counterattack and pushed the Americans back. The Nebelwerfers were the target of time on target from priests and M12s, and lost 6 guns in the 2 bombardments. It's the end of the 10th turn for the Allies. The Allies are moving up, securing 1 objective. The Germans on this flank are reduced to a mortar team and the command. In the middle, the Americans assaulted, took out 3 German infantry teams and 1 of the Tobruks. Moving up the beach, tried an assault on the far left objective, was pushed back by a lone German infantry team. The 105mm Shermans finally took out the bunker, and the crocodiles in the middle took out 3 Tobruks. And then 1 more Nebelwerfer died to the bombardment from the M12s. So it's the end of the 11th turn, and victory is secured for the Allies. The far objective on the right was held from the last turn. In front of the second objective, the Shermans raced around the bunker, blew it up. Infantry was on standby for an assault. In the middle, the last infantry of the Germans was eliminated, and the third objective was secured. On the left, the crocodiles moved up. The Shermans and the infantry, together with mortar bombardment and a naval bombardment, took out the remaining German infantry and secured the 4th objective. Only 3 of the Nebelwerfers remains. All in all, 11 turns. It started out hard for the Allies, but slowly the Germans were softened up. The defenses started falling apart, and in the 11th turn it was all over. No more Germans remained.